All right, so welcome to our Power of Three call for Tuesday, April the 21st. I always mess up the date, but we got it first time. And thank you guys for participating. Thank you for listening to the recording if you are listening after the fact. And if you are unmuted, please *6 and mute yourself or hit the mute button for now. And then you can take questions in a little bit, or you can flag me down. And in the chat, make sure that you message me with your questions, okay? So let's see, one person, I'm gonna mute you. And another person, I'm gonna mute you. Oh wait, they moved. Okay, perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do first is I am going to screen share. And while I'm doing that, I don't know about you guys, but I really, really like this Diamond Dash group. And it's not because I'm a presenter, but I just feel like I'm learning so much from everybody else. And of course, the increased accountability usually is always beneficial. So let me see here. Can I get somebody to nod at me or give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen? Yes, okay. All right, so when you are, now I gotta move your pretty faces out of the way. Okay, so when you're on Facebook, you are going to go to Ads Manager. And now somebody, there we go, took care of that. Okay, and now once you go to Ads Manager, over here on the left is Power Editor. This is where you want to go to do a Facebook ad. Of course, it says use it in Google Chrome, and it won't do it in, I have Safari pulled up. So let me go ahead. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that I would have to redo that. And now, of course, I have to move you in order to pull Google Chrome up. Okay, so again, Ads Manager. Then in Settings, you've got Power Editor. Okay, so this is going to pull up your ads, and now they've got it filtered by different campaigns. So you can see over on the left, I've got 1 that's active, 22 that are paused, 13 that are completed, 39 total. And to be quite honest, I've got somebody working on this for me right now, so I don't even know what's going on, which is part of the reason that I hire somebody on Elance to do that, because I really don't want to focus on it.
Trace, we can't see your screen. We still see the old screen.
Oh, well, let's see. Let me stop sharing and then reshare. Thank you. Hold on a second. Let's try again. Here we go. Okay. Did that work? Power Editor. It's kind of a blank thing.
Yes, that works.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we've got, and I'm going to pull up my active ad and see if I can click on it. I'm not used to doing Google Chrome. Well, okay, so whoever has a like page, I think this was part of the conversation when we were talking about creating a Facebook ad. Anymore, I really feel like my ad for likes is about the most valuable thing that I've got going for me. And that's because each day I've got people that are liking my page, and that means that I've got people to message, and I've got people to add to my contacts. Here is my ad at the bottom, and it says, want to get rid of bad sugar habits and get in shape? Click like and find out how. And it's just an image that the Elance guy pulled up for me. It has nothing to do with anything specific to what I'm doing. It just says to the person, it says health. So want to get rid of bad sugar habits and get in shape? Click like and find out how. That is specific to my target because my motto is kick the sugar, grab the sweet life. You will want to have something there that is telling your prospect what they're going to find on your page, which means you have to know your brand. You have to know what it is that you're going to be talking about on your like page day after day after day. What is it that people can expect to hear from you and learn from you on your like page? Because this is really, really valuable for me to know that when I'm messaging somebody, I already know that they've got issues with sugar. I already know that they want to get in shape. They've already told me by liking my page. They've already told me that information. And so I have that knowledge to be able to go to them, and that very first message that I send to them, I can say, hey, thank you for liking my page. It means a lot for you to support me on my journey. Which is a bigger struggle for you, the sugar or getting your workouts in? And that gives them an easy question that is not too invasive that they can respond to, and we can start the conversation then. And then at the end, I will say, oh, by the way, and again, this is sort of using the formula that Elise taught us last week. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be doing a 5-day free group that will help you get off the sugar, and if this is beneficial to you, can I add you to the group? And I get a lot of thumbs up on that, and I get a lot of people that are saying, yeah, go ahead and add me, or they'll ask more about it. Well, what does that entail? You know, that kind of thing. And so I've got a conversation, and that is money. So as long as we have people to talk to, we have a business. As long as we have conversations continuing to go forward, that's what it's all about. So anyway, when you are creating your Facebook ad, you're going to want to make sure that that verbiage directly relates to your brand. Was there a question? Not yet. Okay. So the next thing is the image. The image, like I said, for me, this was something that the Elancer put up. It seems to be working, and I don't know if he'll end up changing it or not, but for now it's working. Now, there are a lot of great things out there. If you want to put something together for yourself, I would recommend going to Canva and doing that. There is already, I believe, the specific size requirement on there on Canva. So you can select Facebook ad, and then it will pull up that size, and you can play around with that. You're gonna wanna do maybe about 3 different, completely different looks for your graphic, and maybe one would be your face. One would be just a simple picture like this. Maybe one has text. Maybe one is a couple different blocks of text and image, that kind of thing. And you can test it and see which one is working better for you and which is yielding some results. The times that I've played around with it, typically something is going to do really bad and something is just not going to do much at all. And it's pretty clear what is having more success than the other thing. The other thing that you will be able to do is to select your audience. You'll also want to make sure that you preview the way that it looks on mobile and on a desktop, okay? And then here's the thing. Don't set up your ad and then just leave it and not check back, because you may find that you're paying $2 per like. Nobody wants to pay $2 per like. A good cost reference may be less than $0.25 per like. The one that I had going, I'm not sure if this one is still up here. Let's see if the dollar amount is over here. Average 15 cents per like, I believe, is what that number is. 15 cents per like. So to me, that's pretty darn good. And I'll just keep that going. The thing that I'm playing with personally right now is that I have found that even though I'm getting a lot of likes each day, the prospects are not exactly who I'm looking for. And what has been very interesting to me, actually, I think it was earlier today, I found out that my audience is at least 10 years older than me. So apparently I'm on the old side, and I'm going to have to do something about that quick. I went shoe shopping tonight, and I asked everybody that I passed in Nordstrom Rack whether my shoes looked like an old lady or not, because now I'm paranoid that my followers think I'm old. But anyway, you'll have to pay attention to that. And the main point is don't just leave it and not know how much you're spending, because you don't want to spend too much. If it's not working, then cut it off and click the status button and make it be inactive until you can play around with it some more and get something that does start to work. Okay, do we have questions so far on this stuff? And don't be shy.
I'm not shy. It's Jackie.
Okay, great. How are you?
My question is about restrictions for the ad with writing versus non-writing. Is it the same like boosting your post?
I believe that you can have more text in a regular ad. But you know what? I'm not sure if I've paid enough attention to that, because mine is all graphic. And that's just what the guy had set up for me. Does anybody else know the answer to that question?
I got, this is Holly, Tracy. I got denied an ad once because it had too much text in the graphic. And then I got denied once because I put a specific amount of weight that I had lost in my text, and that was unrealistic, whatever it said. Oh, my battery's dying. But so yeah, I mean, the wording was very important.
That happened to me, but it was on a boosted post. So
Okay.
they are paying attention to that sort of wording on boosted posts also. And I know I'm assuming that even with your you could upload the Facebook ad graphic into the grid tool. So amyporterfield.com/grid tool, and it would tell you that too. Personally, I think that I would go ahead and do that and just make it less than 20%, instead of having to fool with revising it and that kind of thing. The other thing that is a definite no-no is putting your before and after picture. Facebook thinks that we are all Barbies and we all have the ideal image and are sharing it somehow. So just don't bother with that one, unfortunately. Okay, now tell me the next area of struggle currently. Anybody speak up?
Say that again.
The next area of struggle, where are we struggling?
For me, training new coaches.
Okay.
I took that the quiz for the 21 laws.
Okay.
In the front of the book, and developing processes and systems, I had a 3 out of 9. I am But I am great at the vision, and I'm great at, you give me something and I will run with it. But developing it, I suck at.
Okay. That one, to me, is kind of tough because we all want to do our own thing. And we all want to make it our own. And so we feel like we have to recreate the wheel. And as soon as you get your stuff done, then you hear about the greatest system. And it's it might be a little bit different, or it might be way different from yours, but it sucks a buttload of time out of your schedule to redo your own system, whether it's for challenge groups, whether it's Coach Basics, whether it's anything. And what happens typically is we get excited about the system. We know the system is important, and so we pour a ton of time into the system. But what happens then? We take our eyes away from our personal business. And so then about 2 or 3 months later, our personal business takes a decline because 2 months ago, we spent all this time revamping a system. When in all reality, if a coach is going to succeed, they're going to succeed. Mm-hmm. And they don't need your system. Now, before you butcher me, yes, the systems make a difference. And yes, we want to make it as smooth as possible for onboarding so that that new coach can duplicate it. But my point is, if there is a driven coach, they will be successful regardless of how pitiful your system is. They can be, because it's their business and they have to take ownership for that. I had successful coaches way before I knew what the heck a system even was. And so anyway, yeah, that's my disclaimer and my statement for you not to put so much pressure on yourself and beat yourself up over that. It doesn't have to be done tonight, and it doesn't have to be done tomorrow. It doesn't have to be done this month. Because there are other people who have done systems, and personally, I think that the systems currently in the Coach Online office for coach training are great. I wouldn't have any qualms with sending my brand new coaches there. It was literally like the day after I completed my new coach onboarding system that the Coach Online office was all updated. Like, gee, that's great. If only I'd known about that you guys were going to do this, like last week, I would have saved myself a bunch of time. But I will gladly share what I have put together on our Power of 3 page. I'll load some files, and they will be view only because I am not going to chance that somebody edits the hard work that I did. So you can, pull each one up and copy and paste it and make it your very own. So far, I think it's been great. The only downside to it is that it's fairly new, but I haven't done a good enough job yet of rolling that out to the team benefit coaches. So this will also be another way that you guys can see what the system for team benefit is. And those of you on other teams, use whatever you want to. I don't mind a bit. That is what I'm talking about, is the coach onboarding process. Now, the Coach Basics process is slightly, it's going to be a little bit different. It includes some of the coach onboarding documents. During my Coach Basics period, I want to make sure that those new coaches are receiving all of the documents, and we touch on some of them, but the Coach Basics posts are different. So, and that's a different file, if you will. Does that sort of answer what specific? I mean, there are so many systems, and you know what? I realize that you can't see the screen, but just bear with me here. When I went through, it was a Platinum Presenters, Christine Dwyer call. There was a great call that she did about systems, and it was at the end of last year. And if you haven't listened to that, I thought it was amazing. And I was finally like, oh my gosh, finally somebody is telling me exactly what systems I need and what need to go in the systems. It was awesome. So if you need more systems training, I would highly recommend that you go there. And hold on a second, I'm looking exactly for this so I can copy and paste the systems that that you will want to have implemented. Okay, so a list of systems. Here's, and I'll copy this onto our page into a file, okay? You wanna have the sign up process. Coach getting started prep work. So those very initial things. We need to be teaching our coaches how to hold getting started right calls. Teach coaches how to run a free group. Teach coaches how to run regular groups. Templates for inviting and following up. Social media how-tos. How to navigate the Coach Online office. A daily to-do list. A newsletter template. How to run reports. How to hit Success Club. How to take prospects through a sneak peek. How to share the business. How to track. And then customer management. Those are all the systems that we should have in place. Now, the thing that frustrates me currently is that I've got all of those systems now that are done, but all these coaches that have joined before I put those in place haven't benefited from that. So it's been a difficult process for me to kind of go back to you coaches that have already enrolled and fill in the blanks, if you will. So if you're on my team, if you're on anybody's team, and you need help with one of those systems, then reach out, because I've got a system in place for each one of those things now. And all the hard work has been done. The research has been done, and I've tried to take the best of everything that I have come across and put it into something that I'm happy with. And like I said, I will post that into a file, a big, huge, fat file on our Power of 3 page. The thing that I don't want to have happen is for all of that to slow us down from our goal, which currently is inviting and recruiting. And that said, we do need to be very, very cognizant currently of onboarding our brand new coaches, because they're flowing in now. You know, we've had this focus on recruiting. Now we've got to make sure that we are introducing them to the team page and getting them their very first steps. And so I will post again in the files what my onboarding process is. I don't care who you are on the group. You feel free to send them those exact links. I don't mind a bit. If you are wanting to make it your own right away, there in step number 1, there's about a 2-minute video. You could do your own video and then copy paste the rest of the information on that welcome letter. In step number 2, there's a 3-minute video. You could redo that video to make it your own, however you want, and that would be fine. But at the same time, it's okay to use somebody else's. This past Coach Basics, I hadn't gotten all the videos done that I wanted to, and so I was using Brittany Leggett's videos and Brigitte Linford's videos, because those were the ones that I liked and they were done. So don't feel bad about saying, this video rocks, it's from another coach that I really respect. Take a look at it. This is what I want you to do. When you're finished with step number 1, let me know and I'll give you step number 2. We'll just take it step by step, okay? So we don't want to overwhelm them, but we need to keep them moving on a little track. And that's something that you can keep track of in Asana. So tag them. You can create a tag for coach. And then in the task comments, you can say step number 1, sent. Step number 2, sent. Okay? And that way, when they come up on your calendar that you need to check in with them, you'll know what you've already done with that person and what the next thing should be. For me, after I send them, or around the time that I'm sending them, step number 3 is when I'm enrolling them in Coach Basics and doing their getting started right call. So anyway, questions there? that may be something also that potentially could be a good call for next week after everybody grabs files and takes what they want and butchers what they don't want and that kind of thing. You know, to fill in the blanks next week of what you're comfortable using. And I think one of the most important thing is you don't have to feel like you've got to do it all on your own right now. That's what your upline is for. Your upline diamond should know how to do that by now. And if they don't, then they can reach up to their star diamond. That's how the process works, and that's how we can all become more confident leaders. So yeah. Now, since I've got you on the phone before we wrap up, tomorrow's Wednesday, and we know that every Wednesday is a huge push day in Team Beachbody. So by the end of tomorrow, we should all be emerald. We should all have added somebody to our network of coaches this week, and make sure that you have broken down into your desired time frame of when you're going to hit diamond, whether it's May 20th or whether it's the end of Diamond Dash. Make sure that you're hitting your weekly marks in terms of additions. And then again, reverse engineering it. Okay, if I didn't hit my weekly mark this last week and I invited X number of people, how many people am I going to need to invite this next week in order to make that happen? A couple of quick announcements. We will be doing a group-wide sneak peek, and that is I don't have it in front of me. Okay, that will be the 4th, May 4th will be our sneak peek. Next week, let's do a business opportunity webinar on Thursday, the 30th. And my suggestion to you is that on that Wednesday, so just the day before, that you post about it, boost the post, and if you're working your personal page, then just post about it on Wednesday night, and then maybe again on Thursday sometime. And then specifically message the people who were supposed to be in the sneak peek this current week, but they really aren't participating, or they couldn't do it, that kind of thing. There are always going to be those stragglers. So that's another good thing to mention, is that don't be disappointed if you have people in this week that you were so hopeful that they were going to engage and ask questions and sign on as a coach, because there are people who say things and they don't have integrity, or it's not the right time, or somebody's in the middle of moving and they didn't think about that when they said yes. You know, like there are just different things. So don't beat yourself up. It has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with the opportunity. That's on them. Okay. So sneak peek will be the 4th, live business opportunity webinar on Thursday night, the 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, yeah. Any other questions before we go? 9:30. Beautiful. Okay. Well, with that, make sure that you are throwing in next week what would be most valuable to you to see or do on our call. I am really loving the whole screen sharing thing. Because I think so many of us are visual learners, and if there are things that are holding us up, it doesn't have to be, Facebook ad related. There is a ton of stuff that we can train on that, whether it's a PowerPoint that I do or showing you my whiteboard, that kind of thing, whatever would be beneficial to you guys where you feel like you're lacking, let me know. That's what I'm here for. And we will cross those things off the list so that that's not a barrier for you anymore. So thank you again for being on the call tonight, and just continue on. I mean, I'm so blown away by the amazing participation and steps that everybody is taking way out of their comfort zone, and it's so exciting to see. So with that, I will talk to you guys all on Facebook. Good night. God bless. May the force be with you.